Good morning. This is Monty once again from DPO Surveillance Equipment. Lovely, Wednesday morning. I'm preparing my usual concoction of drinks and things that I use to get me going in the morning. The bentonite clays and the shilajits and the Himalayan salts. What is it else? Oregano oils. All these things are what gets me going, gets me ready. Actually, I'm going to work out in the gym, so I need, at my age, we need everything we can get at our age to keep going from morning to night. But it's all good. Thanks. By the way, we're a full service surveillance and security equipment company. We have lifetime guarantees and warranties on all the products. We have 24/7, 365 tech sales and customer support. We have, what else we have? We have a very large video library. Go to the video library, check out all the videos. We demonstrate the bug detectors, Nanny cameras, GPS trackers, audio bugs, digital video recorders and voice recorders, and personal protection products such as bulletproof vests. Sorry about that. That's what happens when you're doing a lot of things at once. But bulletproof vests and all sorts of things we're demonstrating in that video library. And also in the articles directory. In the articles directory, we have a lot of articles. Just added an article. Excuse the noise. Last night, for instance, I put a new article on there. You guys may want to go there and look at it, read it. When you go to my website, dpl-surveillance-equipment.com, that's dpl-surveillance-equipment.com. When you go there, going across the top of each page is going to be a bunch of links going horizontally across the top. You're going to see home, about us, contact us, and all that. In addition to all that, you're going to see articles. Click on the link that says articles and scroll way down until you see, it's called The Next Frontier. I think it says in 2017, the next frontier for hackers is the human brain, or your brain, or something like that. The next frontier for hackers is your brain. And that's a very compelling article that you guys are going to want to take a look at. It looks like a lot of neurologists and neuroscientists and those guys are really making strides in terms of, what they can do to the human brain, tap into it, influence it, make it better. Some things are kind of scary as far as what they can do. But that's progress for you, I guess. It's always going to be some downsides, but it's kind of interesting. But yeah, learn about that. Learn about targeted individuals, electrical hypersensitivity. Learn about electronic harassment and prevention. Learn about cell phone detection and spy phone prevention. Learn about GPS jammers and blockers, and all sorts of different things. Okay. And let's see. And anti-terrorist products is another hot area. We've been doing a lot of blogging and articles about anti-terrorism going on, and what's going on in that space. And our latest published article talks about hackers hacking into the wireless protocols associated with the X-ray baggage scanners and the explosive detectors and narcotic detectors. See, everything is networked nowadays, right? Your toaster's talking to your blender, and your microwave is talking to your oven. Everything is talking and communicating. Everything is online, and everything is communicating what you want, what you do, what you want, what you don't like, and all that stuff. So the anti-terrorist products that go in the airports and the embassies and the federal buildings and the military installations, everything is talking to each other. Everyone wants to tap into these things remotely online, do remote diagnostics and all that. Well, believe it or not, the hackers are taking advantage of this too. And anyway, the latest article talks about some weaknesses within the wireless protocols associated with those. Some of our competitors' products, not our products, but the competitors' products. So if you want to avoid that altogether, just get our products and don't worry about it. But just read the article just so you'll be informed. Anyway, on this particular podcast, we're gonna announce this today. So this is an exclusive. This is a first. We're the unofficial Donald Trump interpreter. So. See, a lot of you guys, you hear Donald Trump talk, and you hear these speeches, and last night's long drawn-out speech in front of Congress was no exception. He said a lot of different things, and he's touching on this area, and he's touching on that area, but a lot of the common people, everyday Joes or whatever, want to know, what the hell did he say? What does it mean? Okay, so I'm going to tell you what the fuck he's really saying, all right? For instance, Donald Trump talks a lot about, he started off talking about the plight of the black man, okay? So that right there is scary as hell. Whenever someone of Donald Trump's nature starts off a speech with the idea that he somehow sympathizes or empathizes with what's going on as far as the plight of the black man, that's scary all on its own. So what did he say? He said that, talking about the strides of who we are and what our contributions were and all that. But actually what he was saying is, you guys get ready, because not only have you suffered significantly because of the way that America has treated the black man throughout the last couple of hundred years, but get ready, because there's going to be a new era of mistreatment and insults and oppression. That's basically what he was saying. Because I'm listening to the speech, right, and I'm trying to hear specifically what he's going to do to reach out after he talked about the black man in his opening remarks, okay? And I'm listening for some substance, right? And then I go over to the Wall Street Journal, and the person that's going to be actually making the rules, I can't remember what his name, I'll get it for you later, but his appointment for the Justice Attorney General is talking about how he's going to let the police officers off the hook for investigations in terms of their conduct. So this is ironic. So what he's saying is, what he said on stage is he understands and he sympathizes and he wants to acknowledge the contributions of the black man, but what he's really saying is, you guys are so fucked that you're not going to believe how many of you are going to go to prisons and jail and are going to be taken advantage of. So that's what he really says. Okay, so get ready. I'm black, so let's get ready and understand. Look, some things are changing. I was just reading, and you can follow up on this research as well. There are some very prominent black people in the media space. Al Roker, some individuals who are working for NBC or whatever. I think it was called Good Morning America or some other program. I don't watch them, but I was reading that certain prominent individuals who were hosting those shows, they are no longer in those positions. Okay, they have been replaced by people who are not black. Okay, they're white. And so more of our prominent people who were in a position to represent us and serve as a role model in those roles, they're no longer there. Okay, so that's what's really going on. We are being taken out of those spaces where we have high profile individuals who could at least let the world know that we have, have made it and achieved that type of success. Now we're relegated to the outskirts of society. Okay, the fringes, if you will. And so what else we want to interpret? He talked a lot about the stock market. Okay, the stock market is booming, it's setting records. Well, the good news is it is setting records. But the bad news is, and this is what's really going on. This is what he's not telling you. What he's not telling you is it doesn't really fucking matter, because most Americans are not benefiting. So what the fuck does it matter if the Dow Jones is 20,000 or 60,000? If most people have been robbed of all of their life savings and investments, and then the houses have been taken from them because of the mortgage-related scandals that we've endured over the last 15 years or something, it really doesn't matter, because you already sold your fucking house. You tapped into your 401k. It's damn near depleted. You sold your fucking IRAs. You're basically tapped, right? You're looking for government assistance. So who gives a fuck what the stock market does? So that's what he's not saying. But I'm telling you, that's what I'm here for. I'm going to fucking tell you what this idiot is really saying. He's saying the stock market's going to go up. All my rich buddies and friends are going to benefit significantly. But you fucking idiots, you're going to be sitting on the sidelines, and you're going to be, imagining what it would be like if you were in the stock market. So that's what he's really saying, okay? And as far as our relationships with Mexico and the building of the wall, this is what he said, and then I'll tell you what he means. He's saying, yeah, I'm going to spend all your fucking money, all the money I can get a hold of, and build a fucking wall. And this is going to be so primitive or medieval. We're going to build a moat around the fucking country, and the enemies will not be able to get over the fucking wall, okay? But this is what's really going on. You can't put a fucking moat around a country. You can't build a wall tall enough to keep people out of one space as compared to the other space. I don't give a fuck what it is, a country or a fucking castle, a city, or whatever it is. Walls are fucking history, because nowadays you got fucking drones, you got submarines, you got hot air balloons, you got aircraft, you got fucking tunneling, you got all kinds of shit. They're gonna circumvent that. So this idiot is so fucking he's so fucking ancient and medieval. It's not even funny. A lot of the things that his concepts are based out of a fucking era that has nothing to do with factoring in where we are today and where we need to go tomorrow, okay? So let me tell you what he's really saying. It's like that skit with Michael Keenan, I think, with Barack Obama, when he was on stage at a dinner. It's like a hosting event or something. Obama wanted to supposedly say some things that he couldn't say, express how he really feels. And Michael Keenan came out and was basically interpreting in a very humorous fashion what Barack Obama was really saying. So mine may not be as humorous, but I want you guys to know there are some things that are being said, and who gives a fuck what people say? The actions are what counts. So just be aware of the fact that the police agencies of the world, and by the way, speaking of police don't have no fucking competition as it is. This is another thing that I propose, and Trump and none of those guys in Washington, or anybody else for that matter, wants to look at it. Police need competition. Police agencies, when they arrest someone or do something, there's nothing wrong with having that looked at and analyzed and double-checked to make sure it was done correctly, okay? And as far as I can tell, in every fucking field imaginable, even running for the fucking president, you have competition. doctors, lawyers, dentists, football players. Everyone has a fucking competitor. If you can't do a good enough job, even working for me, then guess what? There's probably somebody I can hire that will do a good job. So every field has competition, and that's the way it should be. And police officers and police agencies and departments, they don't have no fucking competition. People, some fucking reason, people think that these are the only people that could come out and write a fucking ticket and accuse me of speeding or not speeding or being drunk or not drunk or whatever it is. But in actuality, you can train any fucking body to hold a fucking radar gun up and point it at a car and determine whether or not that car is speeding or not, or whether or not the person is drunk or not. Giving a sobriety test is not something you need to go to MIT or fucking Yale University to figure out, okay? So let me know what field you think is such that it cannot stand to have competition in it, and I'll show you a fucking contradiction, okay? So let's get our heads out of our asses and make sure we understand policing is one of those areas we need to have competition. And what else are these fucking morons doing? The banking sector, letting those banks go back to the way they were before. That's going to be a fucking issue, okay? Whenever you let these idiots off the hook and let them invest your money that you put in your banks into whatever they want to do, whatever they want to put it in, they're going to fuck you, okay? So get used to that. And unless you don't want to participate in that, then be careful, because they're going to take every fucking dime you can get. And if they screw up, they know that the government is going to come in and save them. So make sure that, what they say as compared to what they're doing, that's what's most important. And what else did they talk about last night? I don't think he singled out women as far as talking about the contributions that they've made and what he could do to help and all that. Let's see. I looked at about as much as I could stand, but let me just make sure you guys understand, okay? The people that he's appointing, that including the educational secretary. Well, to be honest with you, I don't know if education could get any worse in the United States. The fucking people need to do something. I don't know if you can, because people are so fucking stupid. Their literacy rate in the United States is so bad that, that's why a lot of people vote these idiots in office, because no one is willing to use their brains to figure out what's going on. So that's another issue when it comes to education. I don't know how Betsy DeVos can do any worse. You got to do something as far as education is. So we're like 56 on the fucking list out of all the fucking countries on the planet. We're so far down on the list that it's not even funny. So that's an area where we definitely need to see some improvement. I don't know. Infrastructure and investment is going to be, a hot area. I'm not quite sure how he can pull that off. Public and private partnerships are one approach, but you don't want corporations owning your freeways and bridges and such. They will determine who can go where and who can't. If you're not careful, some fucking freeway will be sponsored by some fucking company, and during certain times, you will not get access to it if you're not careful, because if it's private, if it's owned by a private corporation or managed by them, they may or may not, make it affordable or accessible to everyone. It all depends on how that goes. Environmentally, you guys are so fucked. It's not even funny. The EPA is a watchdog agency, and they really are not supposed to be biased towards any particular ideology. They're supposed to just want to protect the fucking environment, okay? But the EPA, if that thing is ran the way it seems like it's being run, it's gonna be totally a mess. Okay, because we do have the ability to impact the planet and our surroundings by virtue of just not being responsible. So if the EPA doesn't have people within that organization that are looking out for nature. See, nature doesn't exactly have a fucking representative in Washington or some trade organization that's going to go up there and represent it. If somebody wants to cut down all the fucking trees, get rid of the few remaining endangered species that we have, dump every fucking thing imaginable in the oceans and the lakes and the streams, then that's what they're going to do. Because Trump is saying we've got to make as much money as possible, as quickly as possible, right? So the hell with environmental protection. Just make as much money as possible and take what you can and get what you can while you can, right? That's philosophy, right? And anyway, the censorship shit is really insane. The idea that if you don't speak with the same voice that he wants you to speak with, that you have an opportunity to be reprimanded. That's gonna be insane. Okay, because he's basically telling the people in Washington, the staffers and the different organizations, agencies involved with his administration. He's basically telling them, you better not say anything that is not officially approved. Okay, that is fucking insane. You don't tell people, look, to not second guess me, to not think about whether or not I'm actually on track or not. Okay, most bosses, they need the feedback. Most corporations, they have to have somebody within the corporation or different people in the corporation that's going to say, look, I'm not quite sure about this idea. Let's go back and let's take a second look at it, because this idea, this project, whatever it is, you always want to have a second and third opinion. You always want to have people checking and double checking. You always have to have counterbalances and checks. That's what the government is all about. That's what corporate America is all about. And last time I checked, even in nature, there is no fucking guarantees that anybody has a fucking role that can be taken for granted, that no one can challenge, no one can replace you or whatever. Okay, so the censorship shit that's going on there, that's going to be a major fucking issue. But anyway, I'm going to wrap up this session. I'm probably going to do more, and get some more specifics in terms of who said what and what difference it's going to make and all that. But right now, I just want to let you guys know that certain things are going on, and it has absolutely nothing to do with what he's saying so much as what he's not saying, and the types of people that are being approved and put into office, and people that are holding certain positions. That ideology is going to speak for itself. Okay, so just be aware, and unfortunately, to my fellow black peers, we really need to be careful in this environment, because I think this guy wants to set us back 60 or 70 years at least. And as far as I can tell, the judicial system and the way it's run, and I was just reading that the prison bonds, investors are snapping them up and throwing money into prison bonds because they're anticipating constructing a lot of prisons. And last time I checked, a lot of minorities are the ones that end up in the prisons. So you fucking tell me how that translates into an equitable environment for everyone, when we all know who goes to prison and who doesn't, and we all know how the laws are interpreted when it comes to enforcing the laws of the land. Okay, so fuck what they say, look what they do, and you'll probably be able to see. But yeah, we need to keep making strides. We need to keep making sure that we have people in various positions. I don't give a fuck if it's in the It may not be in the public sector. If it's in the private sector, we need to make sure we support those people and acknowledge who they are and what they do, especially in the black community, and see if we can make sure that we have a voice and inspire the young people to, keep the faith, and let's see if we can still make some progress before these idiots do too much damage. But a lot of times, as long as you're aware of what the idiots are up to, and then you can counter what they're doing, right? So that's going to be my spiel for today. There's going to be some pluses and some minuses, but overall, hopefully, we can just stay focused and stay tuned in to what these guys are doing, and be aware of what's going on, all right? So I'll try to chime in every once in a while when these idiots are talking, and I'll break it down for you, and we'll see if we can make some sense out of what's happening. And if you guys have any needs for the things that we offer here at DPL Surveillance Equipment, the bug detectors, the GPS trackers, the audio listening devices, the even the anti-terrorist products, the narcotic detectors, X-ray baggage scanners, and explosive detectors, all those things, give us a call, 888-344-3742. That's 888-344-3742, okay? And as we like to say at the end of every session, share this with a friend, relative, enemy, associate. We don't care who you share it with, just share it with someone. And let's see if we can help make the world a much safer place, okay? Thanks, you guys. Have a great day. Bye.